Knock on the Saints door. Quarterback sneak by Tom Brady to the 43-year-old score. He did. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Now spiked that ball, Tom Brady. Who says I'm 43? He runs right up the gut and scores 6. 7. Handoff, run the ball. Fournette slashes away to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 30, 25, to the 20. Fournette to the 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Run the ball, Leonard Fournette. Wow, what a blast up the gut, found daylight, and outran everybody. Fire the cannons, get them going. Bucs win. Bucs win, Bucs win. Fire them cannons.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Swords Up Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about our Week 12 matchup, probably the biggest game of the year for us. It's going to be a 4:25 p.m. game on CBS against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are sitting right now at 9-1. Obviously, the defending Super Bowl champion, so this is going to be our toughest task of the year. And today I'm going to be talking about the key players and the stats coming into this matchup. But starting out, as always, with the injury report and on the Buccaneers side of things. A little bit banged up coming into this one. We have some key players that are injury doubts or that are going to be out for this one. Starting with Jamel Dean, he's suffered a concussion in last week's game against the Rams. He is going to be out of this game. And look for Ross Cockrell to fill in and Sean Murphy-Bunting as well. Cockrell actually played a good job when he stepped in for Jamel Dean when he did go out of the game. So we'll see what happens there at the cornerback position. But also going to be out of this game is A.Q. Shipley, who unfortunately and really sadly, as it's been revealed, he suffered a neck injury during the game. Obviously, I mentioned that he left right before the last drive of the game. Apparently, this neck injury that he has suffered is going to be a career-ending injury, according to what Bruce Arians has said. And you hate to hear that from a player like Shipley, a veteran player who filled in really well last week, actually did a great job in helping Ryan Jensen to contain Aaron Donald. But yeah, just tough news coming with Shipley, and Arians said that he's going to hopefully help him find his way into coaching. So best of luck to AQ in his future careers. And then also going to be out of this game for the second week in a row is going to be Tanner Hudson to a personal issue. It hasn't been really revealed what it is, but all we know is that it's not injury related and that for personal reasons he's going to be out of this game. And then questionable coming into this game are two key offensive linemen, Ali Marpet, who has been dealing with concussion symptoms and has been unable to clear the concussion protocol for almost a month now. So he might miss his fourth game in a row. And then Donovan Smith, the left tackle, he is questionable coming into this game with an ankle injury that he was dealing with during the Rams game last week. He went down on the first play of the game and was struggling with it all game, but he was able to play out the rest of the game. So he's going to be testing his ankle in pregame to see if he'll be able to go this week. But if not, he's going to be replaced by Josh Wells on the left side. And then if Marpet is out, it's going to be Aaron Stinney making his first NFL start. On the Chiefs side of things, they have no players coming into this game with an injury designation. So they're pretty healthy coming into this one, with the exception of players on IR. And that includes right tackle Mitchell Schwartz. Mike Remmers will be getting the start at right tackle in this game. All right, so now let's start on the Chiefs side of things. And the key player they're going to be highlighting this one, as last week I highlighted Aaron Donald, the best defensive lineman undoubtedly in the NFL. And I'll probably be highlighting the second best defensive lineman today, and that's going to be Chris Jones. I think obviously with the injuries on the offensive line we've been dealing with, the Chiefs D-line is going to be a major factor in this one. And hopefully Marpet can come back, but it remains to be seen. We did a decent job with containing Aaron Donald last week. It was mostly the Rams' outside guys like Samson Ebukam, Leonard Floyd, and Michael Brockers generating most of the pressure. But we'll see what we can do against Chris Jones. And so far in 2020, he's only missed one game, and that was due to COVID-19. And he has had 28 total tackles on the year, 1 for a loss, 5.5 sacks, 18 QB hits, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 pass defended. And the stat sheet doesn't really look that great for him, and it makes you question why he's within the elite tiers of the defensive lineman, but it's not all about the stats for him. It's about being disruptive, and that's exactly what he is. He can wreck a game pretty much at any time, similar to what Aaron Donald can do. And then looking at other key contributors for the Chiefs, and I'm just wondering what we're going to do against Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, you can't talk about the Chiefs without talking about Patrick Mahomes. You could argue he is the front runner right now for the NFL MVP. And he right now is having, once again, a really stellar season. So far in 2020, he's completed 254 passes on 374 attempts with a 67.9% completion percentage, 3,035 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, which both came against the Raiders. So against other opponents, he's had no picks this whole year, and a quarterback rating of 114.3, which is among the league's best. And Patrick Mahomes, once again, is having a really stellar season, like I said, but he's also been aided by a decent ground game, unlike in some other years past. But then again, he is still getting things done through the air, and with him having a remarkable season, and with no team really being able to stop him, it remains to be seen if the Buccaneers defense, which is probably the best defense that he's gone against all year, will be able to contain him a little bit. And the main beneficiary of Patrick Mahomes' season has been Travis Kelce, their amazing tight end, who has probably emerged as the league's best tight end, you could argue, with George Kittle being out. And he is once again having another Pro Bowl season. He's had 66 catches for 896 yards, 7 touchdowns, and averaging 13.6 yards per catch. He leads the league in most tight end categories. And then the last time we went up against an elite tight end was in the Raiders' Darren Waller, and we did an okay job defending him, but it remains to be seen the job we can do against him, which leads me into talking about the key player for the Bucs. That's probably going to be who we have matched up on Travis Kelce for most of this game. We're probably going to have different guys defending him, but I think the main one matched up against him is going to be Levante David. And so far in 2020, he has had 82 total tackles, 10 for a loss, 1.5 sacks, 3 QB hits, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 5 passes defended, which really shows that he can pretty much do anything on the defense, and he has been everywhere on the field. And him and Devin White, who might also match up against Travis Kelce at times in the game. As I mentioned in videos past, they are really, for sure, the best middle linebacker duo in the NFL. So I mentioned how Devin White will also be an important factor in this one, but also the pass rush is going to be really important. And our pass rush in the past few games hasn't gotten that many sacks, but they are, I believe, tied for third in the NFL in total sacks. And even though they haven't had that many sacks in the past few games, they still have been really disruptive and getting a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. So I believe if we can get some good pressure on Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be really important for us in this one, because you would expect the Chiefs to really air it out against us. And then another key battle that I'm going to be looking at is Chris Godwin, who will probably be lined up in the slot for us here, against Tyrann Mathieu, the Chiefs' strong safety, who also plays nickel corner and pretty much everywhere else along the Chiefs' defense. He pretty much can line up anywhere along the field, and the stat sheet can really show that too. He's had 46 total tackles on the year, 1 for a loss, 2 QB hits, 1 fumble recovery, 4 passes defended, and 2 picks. So with that, he's been a decent contributor with tackling, and then also he's had important plays when he's lined up in the box, such as stopping run plays, and also he's provided a bit of a pass rush sometimes when he has been sent in on a blitz. And then obviously he's a really stellar defender when it comes to the nickel package. Not only is he an elite safety, he is also an elite nickel corner. And so that's going to be an important matchup for us this week when we look at him defending Chris Godwin, as Chris Godwin is obviously one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. And he has been struggling, like I've said, this year with injuries, but he's really been stepping it up when he has been healthy. And so far, in the 7 games that he has played, he has had 41 catches for 465 yards, 3 touchdowns, and averaging 11.3 yards per catch. With the matchup against Tyrann Mathieu, look for Godwin's day to be a big indicator of how well the offense performs in this one. If Godwin has a big day, this could really help us out offensively and put up the points we need to really outscore this Chiefs offense. Which leads me into the prediction. And I believe the way we win this game is we're going to have to outscore the Chiefs. And the defense is going to have to stop them at least a couple times. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to force turnovers. It would be great if we do, but as long as we can limit them to scoring as many touchdowns as possible, which could mean giving our offense great field position after stopping the Chiefs in their own territory, or just limiting them to field goals on long drives. If our offense is able to be efficient and limit the mistakes, I think our defense could step up in this one. So that's the way I see us winning this one. But at the same time, I don't know if our offense is going to have the firepower, which I probably wouldn't have said in seasons past, but this year it just looks different for us. I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with the Chiefs' high-flying offense right now. And also the pass defense, there's question marks with Ross Cockrell having to step in for Jamel Dean. And they have been giving up some big plays in past games. Obviously, last week's game against the Rams, they put up a lot of passing yards on us. And also Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, their top two receivers, had really great performances against us. So I think the pass defense is going to be key, but I just don't know if they're going to stop all the weapons with the Chiefs, especially with the injury to Jamel Dean kind of thinning us at the corner position. So while I do see us finding a way to win this game, as maybe some wouldn't really expect, I think we're coming into this game as underdogs, and I think the Chiefs pull out of this one with the victory as the favorites, because I just see them winning more of the head-to-head matchups on the field. Although I do think it'll probably be a close game. I think the Chiefs do edge out in this one by a final score of 31-27. All right, so that's going to be it for this week's matchup. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the games for Week 12 around the NFL, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and go Bucs.